Hello, everyone. Good evening. Hope you all are doing great. Welcome to our today's session of Meet the Global Leader. This webinar is organized by School of Entrepreneurship Development. The objective of this webinar is to share the very basic and the professional journey of a professional from different countries so that our audience who are currently studying at the universities they can get an insight and some lessons from professionals who are working in different countries, how they actually like their student life, how they start their professional career, and stuff like that is relevant, that would help them to design their career in future. So today we have invited Miss Elena to introduce her. She brings over a year of experience at Leuron Institute, where she designs and delivers strategic training solutions that optimize client performance. Prior to that, her background in logistics with Freight One Incorporation allows her to bridge the gap between theory and practical application in the training room. She is passionate about fostering individual and organizational growth through effective learning programs. She also holds certifications in areas like positive atmosphere and project management, ensuring a positive and productive learning experience for participants. Please join me in a warm welcome for Elena. Elena, welcome to our session.
Hi, Mahmoud. Thank you for having me today. It was a pleasure, and I'm very thankful for this opportunity to showcase everything I've been through so far, the
Mm.
opportunities I have, and everything I faced along the way in my
Yeah,
career journey. Um, as
great.
you know,
Yeah.
Mhm.
So
Go
if
ahead.
you, it would be great if you share about. So we actually we share the student life experience. How was it the student life of our speakers? So if you share about like about a little bit of yourself, your country, and your student life, how was it? What did you do? Study the works or your activities that helped you develop some skills when you were a student. That would be like helpful for the students.
Sure, of course. So, I've started my learning journey. I will start with my passion for learning and languages, first of all. So, my high school experience was mostly focused on linguistics and languages, and that is where I continued as well with my university studies. My bachelor degree is in English and German, interpreting and translating. And my first language is Macedonian. So it goes Macedonian to those two languages, vice versa. I am from Skopje, Macedonia. Therefore, my first language would be Macedonian. So this is where I am doing all of my studies so far. I'm still a student, so I haven't finished quite yet. Um, Apart from my bachelor's degree, I'm currently working on my master's degree. I am preparing my thesis, and so far, I am in the end process of it. So shortly, I will get my degree, and my diploma will become an MBA, of course. Um, my master's degree is a bit different than my bachelor, so I've decided to stray a bit from what I've been doing so far in my studies and focus on international sciences. So my master's degree is in mostly politics. So I'm going a bit further away from my previous interest that I had, which was linguistics and languages, but it is still a bit connected since it is focused on international relations and the European Union. So basically, the way I can connect this in my profession is becoming an interpreter for various NGOs, or hopefully the best possible solution way would be an interpreter for the uh, European Union. However, I've decided to take on a different career, which strays a little bit of that, but still, again, everything is connected. And I'm still on that learning development journey that I've been striving to have as part of my life. And that is the career in training, basically corporate training. So it's still something that is within my area of interest, and it's something that I love to work. So my studies have been all regarding development. So whether it is individual or an organizational level, everything that I've strived for in my life and with my studies has been to improve my skills and with that have more opportunities for a professional career. So that is to be able to choose which way I'm willing to go. And for that to happen, I've had to have these different paths and different topics of area of learning that I've chosen so far. So that's why I decided to stray a little bit with my master studies and go for something a bit more challenging and something that is going to hopefully open more doors in the future for my professional development. So, my advice on this would be if you are not someone who is focused on a single career, so if you don't have a specific job that you want to do, and if you're willing to explore, the best way to be to focus on is different areas of learning. So, if you did your bachelor in one area, my advice would be to focus on going with your masters and doctorals with something that is a bit far out from that picture, but still has some connection to it so that you can, of course, pack everything in a nice little package at the end and use all of that in your career and development.
Absolutely amazing. You're like training consultant. Like there are so
Correct.
many consultant in different sales consultant and stuff. So we are going to go there, but before that, can you share about in brief about your professional experiences and how do you find it when you start like your professional like association. Sometimes like developing countries like us, we see there is a gap sometimes in what we study at the university, but in real life there's something different, which is sometimes we find it not relevant. So how was it for you that what did you that things that you studied, but in professional in real life, what was the experiences and how, if there's like if it was different, so how did you cope up and what did you learn new things from your professional experiences? If you share it in brief, that would be great.
Yes, of course. So, I still have not had the opportunity to have a career in the field that I've studied so far. I have not been able to, um, for some reason, be involved in a job like that so far. But that does not mean that I haven't used my skills from my previous studies in my job so far. So my career started very, I've started very humble with a simple low paid job, middle paid job. That was one of my first ever jobs, was a cashier. So even if it did not relate to what I've been focusing on, what I studied, I still managed to use the skills, which are mostly people skills that you gain in your university and with your studies. The most important of all is people skills. So regardless of what job you have, um, you will manage to take something from what you've been learning so far in the years that you spent learning
Absolutely.
in a specific field. So what I will say is the people skills that I managed to learn from every job that I had so far throughout my career. And I've been studying English, interpreting, and translating. So all of my jobs have been with the English language so far. So in a way, it is still everything is still connected.
Different, definitely. So yeah, you have mentioned people skill. So what is people skill and why it is important? Like to have that this skill, um, personal for a personal and professional career.
People skills, well, it sounds very easy to understand when you think of it in the first place, but it's actually a very complicated thing. So people skills are something that we develop further on in our journey in our life. I will say it starts when you first go into kindergarten, you start developing your people skills. However, you never stop with that. So it is a process that you learn throughout your whole life. So that's why it's very important for everyone to focus on their soft skills, people skills. So they will help you find a better job. They will help you have good connection with your colleagues, help you expand your career. So with your people skills, especially if you work in a customer relations job that requires you to have first on communication with people face to face. So you are the person who is the one that is in charge of the customer. Everything goes directly through you. It's very important that you have those people skills. Some of those people skills that I will point out as, in my personal opinion, most important would be listening and understanding. Um, that is one of the main things that every job, every career that you will have requires you to have those. So, in order for you to be able to do your job well and develop your career in the way that you want it to go, you need to be able to listen and understand what is going on around you so that you can find a way to use that in your advantage so that you can become the person that you want to be. So the people around you will help you achieve everything that you want to do in your life. So that's why people skills would be most important.
Absolutely. So your certifications include like project management, positive atmosphere. So how do you use these skills to create a positive learning environment for participants in your training programs?
So I will say that these types of certifications are most recognized and mostly demanded for leadership and management development, which is again people skills and soft skills. So I would say that in order for you to be able to present and gain trust from the customer, that you are able to help them with their skills and you are able to improve the skills that they have, you need to be the one who is good at those things yourself. So it's important to be able to use those people skills that you have already in order to help people to achieve them. But for you to have those skills, you need to train yourself as well. So it is a circle that goes around. So you need to expand your knowledge and your skills, the skills that you have, so that you can transfer everything to other people. But in order for you to do that, you need to train and work on yourself as well. So it is a circle that goes around.
Great. So in our professional sector or student life, often, or in personal life as well, we often face challenges. So, how do you overcome challenges when you face? So, what is your strategy to overcome challenges?
Well, challenges can depend what type of a challenge you're facing. So, um, my way of facing challenges is I've always been very ambitious and determined to be successful in my life. So any challenge that I face is just one step ahead and one way to becoming what I'm intending to be in my life. So it can be a little bit hard to overcome some challenges, but the main point is to never give up. So any challenge that I face, I go and first look at it. What is the challenge that I'm facing, and what can I do to overcome this challenge? So first you need to identify it, because a lot of the times in our professional environment, some challenges that we face are actually things that are very easy to overcome when it comes to communication with your colleagues, management. If you're facing micromanagement as well, that can be very challenging. But sometimes, any challenge that we face, it is lesser than a challenge, that how we view it than what we think it is. So that's why it's very important to understand what you're facing, and first have a definition what it is and what you're facing.
This is very important. The thing that you mentioned, how is said, because like attitude is important. So every problem has a solution in this world. So people who has like whenever in any situation, who seeks solution in any situation, in any problem or in any challenges, so they actually are very much successful. Well, for those people or professionals who are always seek to solutions. So this is very important. The way you mentioned how we say it regarding the challenge or any problem is important. Um, so like how do you measure the success of your training programs? Do you track learning outcomes or their impact on client businesses? So what is the way of measure the success of your training programs?
So for a training program to be successful, it is very important for us to get the feedback of the customers, of the attendees and the delegates that are part of these programs. So my opinion would be, for a program to be successful, it needs to have an outcome that you can see. So the purpose of each training is to improve some sort of skill that you have, or to learn a new skill. So it will be, if you're learning something new, the important thing would be, did you actually learn that? And did you manage to uh, engage with it and use it in your workforce, use it like it was intended to be used? So we always do surveys and tests that which determine whether the program has been successful. So at the beginning, before everything starts, delegates are required to take some sort of survey, which they take again at the end of the program, so that they can see the everything that they managed to learn, and the difference that there was before attending the program and after attending it. So the success of the program is the impact. If it's successful, you will see improvement in the delegates. If it's soft skills, if it's anything technical, if it's technical skill that they're learning, it's much easier to see the success of the program. It's easier to see that they've learned something and they can implement it right away. But for people skills and for soft skills, it may take a little bit of time for you to see how the improvement has been going on. But at the end of the day, that is how we would determine that a program is a success. So the outcome of it, everything that's been learned, has to be implemented as well. I'm sorry, I think you're muted. I cannot hear you.
Oh, sorry. So you mentioned like fostering a culture of continuous learning. So in our professional life, how to see it, like for students as well as professionals, how to see it with that mindset, continuous development or continuous learning? So why it is so important for anyone, for either it can be students or professionals? What is can you share the significant or importance of developing this continuous learning mindset?
Yeah, so continuous learning is important because things change all the time. We have continuous changes, therefore, we need continuous learning. not as much in the student days, but more in your work days is when things change and you need to learn how to keep up with current trends in a specific a job field, in a specific career. And that's why continuous learning is very important. So learning doesn't stop when you come, when you finish college, when you get your degree. It is a process that you need to focus on during your entire life. That's why it's very important that you are continuously improving yourself so that you can stay one step ahead of competitors, and you can be on the top of the game, sort of to say. So that's why it's very important you work on yourself. If just with your degree and the knowledge that you gained in university, in college, it will be a bit less easy to overcome all of the work challenges that you are about to face. So that's why these certifications and programs still exist, so that you can manage to blend in more easily in the workforce. And we all know that the things that we learn in college are not always the things that we face in the real life. So we're not prepared for everything that we're going to face after we complete college and get our degree. So that's why it's very important to be continuously one step ahead of everyone, and improve yourself.
Great. So, what are your thoughts on the future of corporate training? How do you see the industry evolving in the coming years?
So I believe that it is very important to note that companies and employers are becoming self aware and realizing that training their employees is what will make the company successful. So, with that being said, I believe that it is a market and industry that is still growing in the world. So in this area where we are currently focused on, where we're working on, is the GCC area, the GCC countries, which are very keen on training their employees, and focusing on their best, focusing on kind of taking out the best from them through these trainings. So it is important to focus on that so that your company can be successful. The employees that you have are the driving force of your company. So if you invest in them and if you train them so that they can do their jobs better, your company will have greater success. So I think that this is an industry that is in the game for some time, even though many people might not be aware of it. When it comes to different countries and different continents, I understand that the market is very different, and the work ethics and work challenges are quite different from one country to another, more different from one continent to another, to be more precise. So even though some people might believe that it's not as present, it is very present, and it is only going to grow with employers realizing that they need to invest in their employees and train them.
Great, that's great. And in terms of work, in terms of like in this era of digitalization, so there are so many ways that actually distracts our our focus, our thoughts. So how do you suggest to students how they can keep themselves from those distractions, so that they can study, so that they can keep their focus on learning new things instead of wasting their time. So how do you what do you suggest in terms of how to keep focused, how to keep learning new things? and the importance of like focusing on self development or skills development. So how they can actually prioritize their work, manage their time. So if you share some of your thoughts on that, how they can keep focus, keep on their work, and how they can manage their time more efficiently.
Sure, yes. Well, we'll know that social media nowadays is posing a threat to our well-being, first of all, and it is making us lose focus. Well, I would not agree completely on that, since social media is a very powerful tool for you to gain knowledge, to improve anything that you're willing to improve for yourself, because it is a platform where you can have access to all sorts of information. So it is up to you on what you will choose to spend your time on. It is not something that we can escape from, for sure. I'm well aware that it is a big part of our lives, especially young people. But what I will advise is to choose what you spend your time on. You will be on your phone and uh, spend at least an hour either way, so you might as well choose on what you're going to spend that hour. There's a lot of content available online, a lot of content that's been digitalized, which is of it has a learning nature. So it is content that you can follow, which will help you in a way improve any sort of skill that you think needs improvement. Some courses are available online and are free of charge. So instead of maybe spending your time looking at some Instagram reels, you can spend that time checking out a course which will um, have topics that are included for professional development, for improvement of your skills, for also people who share their experiences is a great way of learning as well. So those things are all available online. So instead of, focusing on something that will not be productive at all and have no impact on your life whatsoever, you can use that time to focus on things that will introduce you to something that you haven't known before. So that would be my advice.
Definitely, like utilize resource that is available in on hand. Like utilization is important. So how to use digital tools or medias is important also as well for them. So as you have been saying different things, and also you are training consultant. So like students want to try to promote that before graduation you should develop some skills and basic knowledge, that so that you can, after graduation, you are ready, you will be ready to embark on your journey on professional sector much more earlier than before. So can you share some key skills or advice to this, share some advice for the students? What are the key skills that students should develop before graduation, so that if they want to explore any professional sector, they can easily start their career with those skills?
Yes, well, that is a bit of a tough question, um, since we cannot really set aside any skills which are most important, to be honest. So every skill that you have is important. Everything that you think is something that you're good at is important, and you should use that in your life. So it depends on the person. So if, for example, you have not determined yet what you're good at and what is that you will like to explore more and focus on and improve, then I will say that being able to be a good speaker is a very important skill that you need to have, which is in a way in the middle. It's not very definitive. It's not a subjective. So it's a skill that is important for any area and any job that you are going to have in the future. So that is one thing. Another thing, another skill would be having sort of a little bit of knowledge of all of the Microsoft Office programs that there are.
Exactly.
You just need to have a little bit of knowledge of all of those so that you can present them um, as a skill that you have, and then later on in life develop them and use them in the workforce. So Excel is very important, and it's something that not a lot of people are aware, since we do learn it in school, but it's a very basic learning that we get. So if you had some sort of knowledge for Excel, you will be able to work further on with the job that requires that program. But however, if you did not focus on that during school, if you have, you know, if you thought that you're not going to learn it and you're not going to use it at all in life, then that's a mistake. So it's going to be much harder for you when you're going to go ahead and get the job and they give you that file you need to put there and you're not able to do it. So it's going to be much harder for you. You will need to learn that process all over again. So it's important to focus on those little skills that you learned before finishing college that are available to you, which otherwise are going to be something that you pay for in the future. So that is my advice, to focus on that which is available to you during your studies and learn it while you can. Any sort of skill like that, any program that you have for you provided free of charge by the university, take that opportunity and learn it. Any extracurricular activity that you can have, you go ahead and do that, because again, in the future, if you want to develop those skills, you have to invest in them.
Absolutely, absolutely. Thank you so much, Elena, for sharing a very like brief learning and insights from your professional experiences and your understanding and your perceptions, advice, and the way you see your professional and personal life. Through that, like we try to create an awareness among students that how people are doing things different in other countries, how their mindset is, how they're developing themselves, how they're thinking about professional career. It actually gives them, like a new perspective, a new thought, and it actually helps them like an additional information and insights to when they design their career roadmap. They should keep that in mind so that it can create awareness among them, and they actually act on that based on the like suggestion or stories that they can connect from through this webinar. So keeping that in note. So on behalf of School of Entrepreneurship Development, Elena, I would like to on behalf of that organization say thank you and share our sincere gratitude for your time. Like as you are working, so during your free time you are contributing through your information and learning, sitting far away from Bangladesh. And this is it, like if anyone, so willingness is also important. If anyone wants to support and contribute for the greater good, they can do it sitting anywhere in the world. So just willingness should be there, and the mindset also should be there to support and help students to go forward. So thank you so much, and we wish you very best of luck. Thank you for your time, Elena.
Thank you so much for having me. It was a pleasure to be here. I'm very glad that there are people who are very keen on education and an improvement and also helping others in their professional journey. So thank you for that as well. It's a great thing that you're doing, and I hope that you continue with that further on.
Definitely.
And it is a great pleasure again to be here. Thank you so much.
Great. Have a good day.
Have a good day as well.